Okay. Sweet. Hi, guys. We're just gonna wait for Daniel to pop in. Sweet Daniel. Here we go. Oh, hey, Alexis. What's up, boo?
Made it. We made it. How's it going?
Hey, we made it. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I finally got some good sleep last night. This week's been crazy, but we're back and happy and got it refreshed. How about you? How about you?
Good.
How have things been?
Things have been good. I'm going on a road trip in a little
Oh yeah.
bit. Yeah, my boyfriend and I are celebrating our 4 year. So we're headed out.
Crazy.
We're gonna
Congratulations.
go.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, we're
Tell
gonna go to
Pacey and I say
this.
hi.
I will. I will. But yeah, we're just gonna hang out and see what's up.
Sweet. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
you guys are heading out in like in an hour or so?
Yeah, right after this live, we're gonna
Nice.
go to a place near Sequoia. Sequoia's not open, but we're going to this place that's made of glass. So it's like a glass house. Woo!
Crazy. That's amazing.
Woo! It's gonna be so fun. Okay, so why don't you introduce to everyone who you are? We have a couple people on the live who are here to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Woo.
So, my name is Daniel Diemer. Lee and I, we shot the half of it, as I think most of you guys probably know. I play Paul Munsky, and I think just using this to just like kind of say hi. This is my first ever Instagram live ever,
Aw.
so it's gonna be fun and share a little bit. Hope you guys are all doing good.
Hope you guys are doing good. Okay, why don't we answer some questions? Okay. Um, Here's a good one. What is the best advice that you have gotten from Alice? What do you think?
Alice, I think I think the best advice was less about acting and more life advice. I think through the
Mm,
movie, and Paul with him being like with teaching us to be like, hey, love is kind of the effort that you put in was just such a huge thing for me. I think so often, for me, it's just like I share love by saying I love you, and it was realizing that hey, that comes with actions. Just because I have feelings for somebody doesn't mean that that's full. Like I mean, obviously there's different aspects to love, but to be able to like
Hi,
start putting
Larissa.
in effort. Is she
Oh,
there?
yeah, just saying hi to her.
Start putting an effort in that way, I think was a really great lesson that she taught me. So, yeah. How about you?
I think with Alice, it was always about digging deeper and really trying to find the present moment.
Hmm.
And I feel like her best advice, just in and out of shooting and just personal relationships, is reminding me to stay present through everything. Like
Yeah.
even now, when I go to her for advice, she's always reminding me to not miss the moment and really take a look at what's happening around me. And I feel like it
Hmm.
always ends up centering me, and she always has a way of doing that for me.
Yeah, no, it's huge. I think it's so easy for me to get stuck in my head with things and just like be thinking about like everything I could be doing or want to be doing in the moment rather than just like what's actually going on. And
Totally.
I think that's huge. I mean, it's changed my life when I started to do that more regularly, just like really feeling grateful for all the different moments and kind of like realizing that it's okay to be where I'm at, no matter where that is, however I'm feeling, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. I like
yeah,
that.
it's good. It's good.
People have asked, are we good buddies? I'd say we're
Oh,
pretty good buddies.
yeah, we're great buddies.
We're homies.
Yeah, no,
We
I
keep
think
it
as
real.
soon as the quarantine's over, you're gonna be one of the first people that we come and visit. So, of course, like, I mean,
Absolutely.
actually. So, I hope that they see the genuineness behind that because it really is real.
Guys, we do hang out. We go on double dates. It's really cute. And yeah, I feel like we've been close ever since the project.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think even before we got the project, just testing it together was just like really cool experience. And I think obviously we've gotten a lot closer since then. But it was like really cool to have that kind of spark with somebody. Where just like, yeah, no, this person's dope. Um, so it would be really cool to become friends with somebody and then to have it actually happen. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel like it makes the whole process much easier too,
Definitely,
with all of the
definitely.
natural connections.
Yeah.
Okay, it says, Daniel, your jogging was so convincing. Where did you learn to jog and act so well? Where did you learn to act jog so well?
I mean, most of the jogging was real jogging. We ran like I think 6 full days on set. So I mean, I grew up playing soccer, so I would run just 5, 6, 7, 8 kilometers every day whenever I was training, just as on the field and whatnot. So I used to run a ton, but the last few years once I started getting into acting, it's been a little bit lazier on that part. So I did a lot of training beforehand because it was a lot. I mean, like Leah was biking the entire time, so it was a lot for her as well. But just
We were
like
also going to the gym on the weekend.
going to the
Like,
gym on
I
the
feel like
weekends
you
is
and I were going to the gym before set,
mhm.
after set, trying to get a session. We lived in this tiny town with this like local gym that we would bring
Yeah,
Alexis to. Alexis would run. She'd get her gym on. It was fun.
yeah. I mean, Nyack Fitness, shout out. They were fantastic. Gorgeous gym too. So it was
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm so gorgeous.
yeah. All right. No stand-in for jogging then? No, Zach. That's my buddy. No, unfortunately, no stand-in for the jogging. I think at some times there would have been very grateful. And then, aw, Hilda just chimed in. Alexa's mom. So hi, Hilda. How's it
Oh,
going?
hi, Hilda. Hilda, what's up? Who is?
That's awesome.
What the heck
I
is
gotta start
going
like taking a
on?
look at
I
the.
have like gardeners.
Oh, I can barely hear them.
Okay, all right, sweet. They're like sawing away at something.
Somebody's laughing at my comment. Gorgeous gym. Yeah.
Gorgeous gem. Hi from the Philippines. Hi, Philippines. Hi, Brazil.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, Brazil wanted you to say oi.
Oh wait.
Yeah,
In
that's
Brazil
it.
they say what? Okay.
I
Oh,
mean,
sorry.
that's what they said. Okay, what
Okay.
was your? This is a really good one. What was our first impression of each other?
First impression of each other.
Can
Um.
I give mine? I'm gonna give mine.
Do it. Do it.
You were really, I think you were like, you started talking about tennis, and you just started telling me about like your high school days and your childhood. And I just remember being like, "Oh, this guy's really nice. What an interesting life. Like we really went in." And then I
Yeah.
remember, I don't know, I thought you were really cool, and I thought that you added a really nice softness and genuineness, or genuineness.
I'm lost. I'm lost.
Madison, what's
Yeah.
up? That's my girl. Okay,
And
anyway,
my boy's laughing at the tennis. He's just like, of course he's talking about the tennis with you within minutes of meeting.
it was really sweet. You were nice. Yeah. My first impression of you was good.
I think that was mutual. I think at the time I was just so darn nervous to do the flipping testing that I was just like freaking out. And so to be able to talk with you and just like because I don't even remember what we talked about. I was just freaking out the entire time. But it was just nice to have somebody that I really felt like we connected because it was like calming and relaxed. And by the time that we actually went in together, it was just like okay, sweet. Let's do it and I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I
But
feel
yeah,
like
no, and like really someone who was genuine and cool and down to earth, but also just like I saw this really cool like inner confidence in you that was just like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Um, so yeah, it was a lot of fun.
it
Some
was
comments
it
on
was
there.
so
I mean,
much fun. I need to tell
oh yeah.
you, I found this really cool leaf bug. I just want to show it to you. How cool is that?
Oh, I've seen those. That's it's so small.
Isn't it cool? I just like saw that in the corner and I find that so fascinating. Okay, sorry, back to everything.
No, 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 no. I love the leaf bug.
Okay, we're back.
Munsky sausage shirts. I mean, if somebody commented that, I don't have any in production, but if you guys check out our MTV video where we made taco sausages, you can see on my shirt the logo Munsky sausages. We got that as a wrap gift. So yeah, no, it's huge.
Yep, someone just said eat the bug.
Eat the bug. No, it's terrible.
No, dude, what?
Oh man.
Okay. No, but you really should get that going. Payson actually made a logo for the Munsky sausages.
Oh, there
Thoughts
we
on the
go.
height difference? Dude, Daniel is like this much taller than me.
Oh yeah, no, it is, there's some. I mean, it is with most people. I mean, Leah's not that short. Like she really isn't. I'm six
I'm
four.
five,
Uh,
I'm 5'5.5".
yeah, that's very much like average. I mean, almost like tall average for a lot of people. So yeah, no, no, she's not that short. I
Yeah,
saw a
but
few comments
you are
making fun.
very, very tall.
Quite large, quite large. My buddy Jake chimed in saying, what did he say again? Oh, you are such a stud. Thank you, Jake. That's
You
very
are a
nice of
stud. Good for you guys. Can we get a round of applause for Daniel?
you.
It's just
Don't do
me.
no.
No one else
Don't,
is here.
you
It's
know.
just me.
Uh, Daniel taught
Okay.
how to play any instruments. Half of it Brazil. Yeah, I played the saxophone and clarinet, and I taught myself the saxophone myself. Played a
The
couple other instruments,
saxophone?
but I can't play any of those anymore. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I played the soprano sax and then the alto sax back in high school, but it's been a little bit. Um,
Woo!
yeah. How about you?
That's really cool. I play guitar, all right,
Yeah,
and
no,
I can
more than
play.
right.
No, I'm all right. I can play piano if I want to play piano, but I'm not really good at it. Like I can teach myself a song, I can play that one song, but I don't
Okay.
understand piano fluently. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yeah, 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 for sure. Like the just like the different chords and I mean stuff you can just like teach yourself along, but like the actual
Yes.
piano theory and music theory and
Yeah,
scales
no,
and
no,
whatnot
no.
is a little bit different.
But
Got
that's
it.
something I definitely want to work at. I actually have a
Yeah.
roommate who lives in a different part of the house, and she is a really, really good guitar player. Her name is
Okay.
Emily, and I
Sweet.
wanted to start taking lessons with her.
That would be amazing. That's the
Yeah.
I think because my apartment's so small and our walls are so thin, like we can hear pretty much anything that's going on in that apartment. It's like I think what I really want to do is get one of those keyboards at some point that you can plug in headphones with. So
Mm.
just like, teach myself that because guitar, I don't think I'll be able to ever do that soft enough. But like one of those, so I can just like learn how to play something without like disturbing anybody would be amazing.
I know that. It's kind of hard to play an instrument. I wanted to play the drums, but that just doesn't fit into any living situation that I have.
Doesn't do so well. Yeah.
Not at all. Okay. What was the hardest scene for you to shoot, you think?
Hardest scene for me to shoot, I think, would probably be the scene after the game with you, where Paul kisses Ellie and I mean discovers that you like Aster. I think just because of all the like the emotions and the sensitivity around it, and just because of what Paul actually says to you, um, it was just something that I took really seriously because I think it was a huge moment for the movie
Yeah.
in so many ways, and I think it really I think especially with how you see Paul and their relationship grow throughout the movie, it's something that's just really shocking, and for a lot of people, and extraordinarily hurtful as well. And so, it was something that I just really wanted to handle with care. I didn't want it to, like the actual statement that he says, to come across as something that comes out of a place of hate. I think Paul really does love and care for Ellie by that point, like just tremendously. And so I think it really was this thing where his ideas are very conflicted with the thoughts that he's kind of been grown up and taught and just been like this is sort of the world that's been shown to me and this is the reality and this hurts like crazy, but to say it out loud is just like it really just obviously hits Ellie like huge, and so it was just that was really really tough, and so it was great to have Alice alongside us for that because I mean it was just terrifying in a lot of ways for that.
Mm. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I feel like that scene, especially with you, was very tough just because of our relationship and knowing that you and I off screen are so accepting of each other and so
Hmm.
embracing of those parts of each other. And to kind of put yourself in the position of being compromised like that, it that was very, very difficult. And I feel like you
Hmm.
handled it amazingly.
Thank you.
A scene that was really difficult for me was actually the end scene when I'm saying goodbye to Aster. I think
Hmm.
physically, just around us and externally, there were like geese squawking. It was raining that day. Alexis's hair kept like falling down because it was supposed to be like wispy and
I remember you guys talking
romantic, and
about
it was like getting soggy for a second. And there was just so much that went into that scene. And Alexis and I remember like her and I trying so hard to really connect with each other, even though we couldn't really even hear each other because we were so far apart.
it. Yeah.
But I think also too because that was when Ellie was saying goodbye and everything, and really working up the courage to kind of show her love and her own self love also by like coming out with these feelings. It was it was a really hard day in a good
Yeah.
way though.
Yeah, no, I literally remember you guys coming back and talking about it. So I think it's cool that it like sticks to you now still. It's just like it's one of those memories where, I mean, even if it's tough in the moment, the scene came out beautifully. So I think I really hope that it's something that you're able to be proud of. And I mean, obviously, I think by the comments on the internet, it's really cool to see the response to that and to your guys' relationship on screen. Just really really cool in that regard. And you killed it,
Thank you, babe.
of course.
Also, here's a good question. Did the slap from Alexis hurt, and what was that like?
The slap from Alexis. Um,
Or from
little,
Aster, rather.
yeah. Not too bad. I mean, I'm luckily I haven't got too many slaps in my life in the face. I think that was probably the first time actually. Um, but no, it wasn't too bad. She was nice about it. She made sure to connect so we could get that on screen. But she was also like gentle enough about it that just like it didn't leave too much of a mark, which was very much appreciated for sure.
Sweet angel. So sweet. That's nice. What are some other questions? We'll see. Daniel, do you think they'll make a sequel from this movie?
Don't put me on the spot like that, Leah. I have
Uh,
no idea. I have no idea if there's gonna be a sequel. We've talked about it with Alice, and I think her comments on it were very much on the regard where she loves the way it ended. I mean, with this I think this open-ended type of thing where people are watching are able to kind of put their own experiences into play and with their imagination and how these characters' lives kind of go on, which I agree with. I think it's an amazing thing, and obviously there's been a lot of my favorite movies were just one-offs where there was no sequel. I think would be really cool to enter into these characters' lives again for sure, for sure. But do I have any news about a sequel? No, I haven't heard anything on my end. I'm assuming you haven't either.
I have heard nothing about a sequel.
Yeah,
I have heard a lot of talk about just, you're right, kind of staying in the moment and really just embracing the ending that there is now and leaving it up to the audience to kind of explore that for themselves.
definitely, definitely.
Dude, I really want to I really want to pick up this leaf bug.
Do it, go for it. Just mention
No,
it.
dude, honestly, it's not right. Like,
Put your
I
finger,
have no
laugh this time.
business touching that bug for no reason. Okay, what is it like having to kiss someone who is such good friends with you and then still being friends? Does it make it awkward or easier?
That's a good question. I'm glad that you're giving that to me first. No, I don't know. Like, I think because of the because of the nature of our relationship and just how well we actually got along and how easy our relationship was in that regard, um, it was just easy to go into the moment with the characters where we both knew where we kind of stood relationship wise and it didn't conflict with where Paul and Ellie were. So we were able to enter in, do that scene, and then kind of come out and just be just like it's just us. And we're
Yeah.
like, because I know people where it's really easy for it to get kind of confusing, for like those feelings to kind of overlap, or you're not sure what's you and what's the character. But I think for us, at least on my end, it just like we just knew where we stood, and so that kind of made it a lot easier just to be able to go in, do the scene, do the work that needed to be done, and try to just I don't know, just create something that just worked for the movie as best as possible. That didn't wasn't impacted by how we felt about each other. I mean, what do you think?
Totally. Oh, wait, what was the question again?
Just like what's it like to like have to kiss a friend and like how does it affect you kind of
Oh,
afterwards? Because
well,
it didn't feel super awkward, but
not to piggyback on what you said, but because I feel like the friendships are so strong and firmly grounded in what they are, it's more
yeah,
just like, hey, we're gonna support each other, and it just so happens to be that like our lips are on each other's lips. Like,
yeah,
like where we have one goal in this scene is that, and that is to show love and our love for each other, and it just kind of translate in a way that's not like awkward or romantic.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just kind of put out in a different way. Does that make sense?
definitely,
Am I
definitely, I
making
agree.
sense? I feel like I'm like not making sense.
I'm understanding. I'm understanding.
Okay, good.
I like the answer. Okay.
What's another question?
Let's
If you
see.
were to make a movie with someone from the half of it, who would you want it with? I want it
I
with
mean,
all you guys.
most of the cast, it just like
I would love like one-offs. Like, you know how like main books have like other little saga books that kind of like rip off the main story later on? Like
Yeah.
it'd be cool if we all had like our own little saga, like Paul and Trig save the day. Like you guys were out in the woods, like doing something. Ellie and Aster like off in the hot springs, like doing this and that. Like I feel like that'd be fun.
Yeah. No, I like that idea for sure. I like that. I really do. Um, let's see if there's any other questions on there. Why wasn't Daniel in the talent show? Because cooking's not usually accepted in talent shows, and he didn't have
Yeah.
anything else he wanted to share. He just wanted to come out and support Ellie. That's why.
Why wasn't Daniel on the talent show? Well, sorry, I'm dead.
Did
That like
you
that
guys
is
have what?
why wasn't Daniel in the talent? I mean, not why wasn't Paul in the talent show?
I mean, I think like he was mostly there to support Ellie. I don't think like Paul doesn't seem to me like a guy who's really out there a ton in
Yeah,
terms of just like wanting to be the center of attention and whatnot. And I don't think really Ellie is either. But I think it's really brave that she does go up to perform that. But I think Paul just didn't have anything that he kind of wanted to showcase, I guess. And yeah, I think also yeah, it was just wanted to support Ellie. I think that was a huge part about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
Plus, he was
Okay.
taking care of his sausages. He came in with the apron on. He was talking to Edwin. Need to help him out with
Oh
the
wait,
sausage.
yeah. Okay,
Hmm.
so let's talk about Colin. How is
Colin.
it to work with him? He was such a someone asked a question about Colin, who plays my father. He was such a lovely actor, and he
Yeah,
was a really cool guy.
yeah. No, he was great. And we both got to spend. It was like a few days on set because I was back up in Old Forge, right?
Yeah,
There weren't any scenes at the high school with
I
him
just got
or
a I just got a random call from Texas.
from Texas.
Yeah, just continue. Sorry.
Okay, all right. Yeah, no, I think that's kind of sums it up. I think he was great to work with, and I loved how the scenes with him turned out. I had a blast shooting with him. That was great.
Yeah, he
Can
was
you
really
speak
sweet.
a little? Can you speak a little Spanish? I can't speak any Spanish. I grew up in Canada, so we learned a little bit of French, but my Spanish is non-existent.
You tried. Okay. What's another question? Okay, who's the prankster from the cast?
Thanks from the cast. Are you looking at me like that was me? Because I don't think so.
No,
I
it was
mean,
me.
that was you. You,
I feel like it was Alexis and I.
I think we
The
all try to keep
prankster?
each other a little bit.
Oh, you were a prankster, actually. You really like mess with my head sometimes.
Only a couple times. Only a couple of times. I think my favorite thing was just the Panera bread. That was,
That was the worst, you guys. Okay, let me spit it out like
but
it is.
it came from a, like a good place.
I have an obsession with Panera Bread, and Daniel knows that, and he was the only one with access to a car. And I had been craving Panera Bread, and y'all, we live in a small town, like shooting this. There was nowhere to go. I needed my Panera Bread. And he lied to me and said that he went to Panera Bread without me. And I like
I mean,
started crying.
so to kind of sell it more,
It's so funny.
I went on Google and then I found some images of Panera bread, but like with nobody in the picture, just like the table with like the Panera bread on it.
His
And so
lighting
I
is
just
so bad.
saved that and sent it out to her. Your lighting?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep going, keep going. I'm just trying to find the
Yeah, no,
lighting.
that was it. It was good. Yeah.
It
You
was
have great
so
lighting.
so awful. No, I feel like it like makes my nose go away.
Oh,
But I'm back.
hmm.
Yeah.
Hopefully, there we go. It's
There we
completely
go.
nicely done.
Okay.
You finding your light.
Completely shaded. I found my light.
Yeah.
Okay. We're back. Okay, what's another question? Let me see. Favorite quote from the half of it.
Oh, favorite quote. Do you have one?
I think my favorite quote is I'm trying to think. There's so many good ones.
There was so many. I think the thing for me that made it so hard in that for that question is just like the whole thing was filled with incredible quotes, like so many quotes about love
I
and
think it was
friendship.
more like
So
moments. I think,
yeah,
here's one. Have you ever loved someone so much you never want them to
mm,
change? And I
yeah,
think that was a moment of like, oh, like, wow. Ellie's dad just kind of explained what unconditional love is, learning how to love someone without your opinion being attached to it, learning how to
mm,
love someone and realizing that maybe you have some letting go to do. And
yeah,
that was, I feel like that was like a part of the film where it was like, oh, you just kind of summed up like how everyone's feeling.
definitely, definitely. I think that was key for Paul as well in so many ways, was to just like because I think he's tries immensely to be as aware as he can, but sometimes it's just like the brain doesn't connect with his emotions and vice versa. So, sometimes I think for Edwin to kind of voice that in that way was just huge for him, and just he was I think it changed really how he was able to like, oh shoot, okay, that makes sense for me, and then be able to go from there to kind of apologizing in the church in his own way, I guess.
Yeah, that was such a sweet moment.
Mm.
How do you feel like that moment was for you as Daniel, like connecting
Like
to
the
Paul?
church thing.
Yeah.
I think I think I mean just I guess for Paul it was huge because it was just this moment where like he's kind of standing up for her in the only way that he knows how at the time where he's just like she like because I mean there is this moment where where Ellie just stops talking and just doesn't know how to say what she wants to say and he's just like hey here's my chance here like I'm going to support my friend um in the way that she deserves to be supported because obviously wasn't there for her before and be
Hmm.
like okay here like this is I mean here's my apology and I'm so sorry that I hurt you but here I'm going to try to love you as best as I can for however long that this relationship exists and I think that was just such a cool moment for me hopefully for most of the audience he was able to find some redemption in that and obviously um, I think it's up to the person that's hurt to say whether or not that is enough because I think that through that relationship they're able to know um, like the relationship better than any of us can because I mean there's so many more moments in there in the movie that I think than we actually shot you know there's a life in between and so there I think just to be able to have that moment was so important and for me it just meant the world to be able to say sort of where my heart was at where really was this thing where like just love over everything. Like just support the people that you care about and the people around you as best as you can, as much as you can. I think that's such a huge lesson for people to take away in general. So yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Oh, you're
I mean,
so
how did it feel
sweet.
for Ellie? Like in that scene, does that feel like a redemptive moment to you, or do you feel like there's still like parts of Ellie that just that need to still wrap her head around the whole situation? Because it obviously is like this brutal moment, or for her where she is just hurt so deeply. Do you think that just like that still takes? Yeah, where were you at with that?
I think for Ellie, it's interesting because when she stands up, she like doesn't really know what to say. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
mm, love is," and then for a moment, she just takes that step. She takes the bold stroke, and you see her like not even really explaining to people, but kind of explaining to herself, like as she's walking down the stairs, like it's messy, it's this, it's that. Everyone's like, "Where'd she go?" Like
Yeah,
she's in the stairs, she's just like kind of talking to herself, and then finally she arrives downstairs and realizes the spotlight is on her, and it's like she comes out, like she not necessarily the way that it's like here I am, like this is who I am to everyone, but she comes out to the people that matter, and that's
yeah,
to Paul, and that's to
yeah.
Asher, and that is to um, it's to everyone that like she has a voice, and she is a part of this
Mm-hmm.
community as well, and she's not just Ellie, the organ player.
Yeah,
And for her, I feel like it's a really big moment of truth, and it's also it's tough to finally reveal yourself and show
huge.
someone who you are and kind of take responsibility for that.
Yeah,
And Ellie still knows that there's work to do after that. It's not just like woohoo, like this is the big come out
yeah,
and everything's gonna be great. She definitely
Yeah.
knows the realistic weight of what this meant to everyone. Um, so I'm glad it didn't just end at that. But that was a really pivotal moment for everyone. I feel like everyone kind of had each other's backs, especially Ellie and Paul. Paul essentially did have Ellie's back, and he was like, "No, I'm with you. I'm going to lead this train." And maybe Ellie wouldn't have even stood up had Paul not stood up, you know?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. No, I love the moment, and I think obviously it was crazy to shoot that scene with so much going on. But
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a really fun day, though. It was
definitely
such a fun day.
crazy, crazy, so much going on. Let's see. Going on way too hard to show your true self to the world. I haven't done that. Hmm. Half of Brazil says it's way too hard to show your true self to the world. I haven't done that yet to my parents, but okay. I like that. I think, I mean, obviously, it's just like I don't, I mean, obviously, I wish that it was easier for you with whatever situation you're in, and I don't understand, don't know where you're at. But I think for everybody, no matter where you're at, whether it's sexuality or just who you are and how you view the world, I think everybody comes at it differently than their parents, than their friends, than their family, and I think it's always difficult to kind of voice that because I think it's really easy to feel alone in that. So I think it's really important to kind of surround yourself as best as you can with people that really love you for who you are and are willing to listen to you and to try and understand. I think we all have moments where we feel like, hey, somebody close to us has kind of broken our hearts because they weren't there for us the way that we needed them to. And then it's just like, how do you move from that? How do you communicate to them that you need more support, that you need to be heard better, and then hopefully they kind of take that and grow with you in that regard. But it's tough. It's super
Yeah.
tough. I think all of us get or feel lost and at a lot of for lots of our life. I mean, I talked to my parents, I've talked to my grandparents about it, and it's a constant journey. So, yeah.
Someone said Paul is like a big brother trying to comfort me.
Mm, I like
That's
that.
cute. That's really sweet. Another good question. Let's
Oh, I have a
see.
question for you.
Okay, what's the question?
How does it feel to be in the top 20 on IMDb for most searched actors and actresses in the
Ah!
entire world?
It's weird. That's weird. I don't
Did
know.
did
It's
you
just a
like?
number.
Yeah, for sure. But it's also like the it is like, I mean, you've put together this incredible performance as Ellie Chu. You've put together an incredible performance as George Fan. I mean, obviously, I know that you're an incredibly talented actress, but what was like there ever a point when you were going through your career and starting up that you just really doubted that it would ever happen, or did you have like this set belief in yourself from the very beginning?
Oh my God, absolutely. It's crazy
Hmm.
because like I have these dreams always of being like, one day I'm gonna star in this and one day I'm gonna star in that. And I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but like I'm just gonna do it. And
Mm,
sooner or later, after plugging and plugging and plugging and plugging away
yeah,
and being rejected, and not even necessarily rejected, but just understanding and going through the process of understanding that certain projects are not right for me. And
yeah,
maybe there's something I hadn't yet cracked into with my own craft.
yeah.
Like it's a learning process and doing it over and over and over again. And I don't know, there's a lot of times where I don't think I ever thought to myself like, oh, I'm not going to make it, but I have thought like, oh my God, like when am I going to work next? And when um am I ever going to be able to kind of fulfill the dreams that I like set out for myself? And
Definitely.
I don't know, I feel like even now I still have doubt in a lot of places, but that's not to say that I haven't done things that I'm not really proud of also that can kind of
Good.
attest to something different.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that. I think it really is this um, both like growing as an actor, but also as a human being and seeing that growth and being like, okay, like just seeing the amount of players, like kind of characters that you can kind of portray grow as you grow, because you understand so many more characters as you like dive into different relationships as well. And um, I mean, I'm sure because you've been doing this for quite a bit longer than I have, and it's been like super impressive to see that huge growth with your career and to be like fall like just be inspired by what you've put together and what you've done. It's like I don't know. I'm really excited to see what comes next for you, and I hope you know that I'm there for you and that I believe in you like crazy. And I mean, just from the comments all over the internet with like just so much support for you, and I'm just really excited. Yeah.
Oh, Daniel, I feel the same way about you. I know how hard you work, and I cannot wait to see the other kind of characters that you embody and that you get to tackle. You bring such a life to everything that you do, and it was such a pleasure to work with you. And
Likewise.
it'd
Likewise.
be so cool to be in like, oh, Daniel went out.
Just charging my phone because it's starting to die over here on me. All right.
Okay, sweet. But I think we should wrap it up because I do have to
Okay.
start skedaddling. And
Do it.
so just a couple more questions, eh?
All
Eh?
right. Sounds good.
Okay. Do you think Daniel is similar to Paul Munsky?
I think there's a lot of me that's really similar to Paul Bunsky. I mean we both grew up in a small town, and with like I think with these feelings of like being of fitting in, but also not at the same time. It's just like I had a lot of friends, but there was especially like early high school. I just really felt kind of lost, and like there was things that I wanted to do and aspired to that I didn't know how to go about getting, and it was like a lot of confusing feelings and emotions, and not really knowing how to kind of place them or sort them. So I think there's a lot of me, especially high school. Daniel, it was a lot more than I guess I am now, but I think the heart of him is very similar. Um, I think. What about you with Ellie? I think. I mean, you've talked about this probably like 100 interviews by now, but it must be something that just like there is parts to Ellie. I'm sure that you kind of connect with as well in a lot of ways.
I feel like Ellie and I, we're very deep thinkers, and we do have this very kind of observant side of us that I have,
Mm,
but more of like in a private way in my life. I'm much more extroverted than Ellie, and Ellie is much more introverted and quiet and low key. And
mm,
I love talking to people and making new friends. And I don't know, Ellie is not my age. I'm only a couple years older than Ellie, but I don't know, maybe Ellie at 23 would be very social and probably not this outgoing, but just a little, more like self-assured.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There were a lot of things I related to with Ellie that I feel like helped me in a very vulnerable place. I feel like also stepping into the shoes of being someone in high school puts you in a very vulnerable place where it is kind of like you're not really sure like what this is or what that is. And it's you're like, oh my God, like I feel like I'm in high school again.
Hmm. Hmm. I think that was very much what I was feeling as well. Was just like feeling just going back to high school. I mean, even with just like the shooting where it was just like it was just really intense, really long days, and so to go to this place where you're so tired emotionally,
Yeah,
you just start to feel kind of vulnerable again when you're in that place because it's hard to do life from that place. And so I think high school is a place where I really felt really vulnerable. And so to be able to be in that for the whole month and a half that we were shooting, I think was both a gift and something that was also kind of scary to deal with. But I think it really helped the story in a lot of ways.
totally. Okay, I love you guys. I love you. And I've got a blast.
Go do your thing. Go do your thing. Thanks for taking the time. It's so good to see you.
Guys, yeah, what do you have to say, guys? Thank you so much for watching this live. It was so cool
Yeah.
learning about Paul. And what do you have to say to everyone?
Oh, just thank you. Thank you for the support. I mean, the just like the whole attention that the movie's got for the last couple of weeks has just been insane. Just so grateful for every moment of it. And I don't know, hopefully we can, if we do a sequel or don't do a sequel, whatever projects come next, we can make everybody proud and hopefully keep on telling stories that are kind of about love and just being a good example as much as we can. But yeah, thanks for watching. It means a lot.
Thank you, guys. Bye, Daniel.
See you later. Enjoy the trip.
Bye. Thank you.